Is glucose monitoring really the key to your health? Everyone knows diabetes and obesity are at epidemic levels. And there's no shortage of talk about blood sugar, glucose, and the need to regulate them. And society has finally started to recognize too much sugar and too many carbs are not a good thing. In fact, it is now recognized that our high glucose, high carb diets are actually responsible for many chronic diseases. But you have to ask yourself, how do you, the individual, know where to start if you really want to prevent diabetes, chronic disease, and stay healthy? Well, until the recent development of a real-time continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, like the Freestyle Libre or the Dexcom G5, the only way a person could actually monitor their blood sugar was by pricking their finger for a drop of blood. Not fun. So unless you were a type 1 diabetic, there was really no life or death urgency to continuously pricking yourself. The easy availability of real-time CGMs has changed all that. Once again, our addiction to technology as our savior has heightened our awareness of this issue. And it's not a bad thing. However, there is a downside. With that new shiny gadget and app, we also get that dopamine hit and blood sugar spike from cortisol we have all been cultivated to seek. So, blood sugar / glucose regulation is now a thing, and it's trending on social media, and with no shortage of information and influencers to keep that dopamine hit flowing. There is a glucose revolution book, and even a glucose goddess. And so everyone is chasing their blood sugar now that technology has made it simple and painless. Of course, convenience, right? But there is a real biological problem here because blood sugar is so highly sensitive and difficult to control. That's why there's a problem, right? And why the conventional treatment of diabetes has failed to cure this largely preventable disease. Now, a simple scientific fact to illustrate just how sensitive your blood sugar is this. Normal fasting blood sugar ranges between 70 and 100 milligrams per deciliter. When you do the math, this literally amounts to 1 teaspoon of sugar as glucose in the 5 liters, 50 deciliters of blood circulating in the average human. Yes, that is a single teaspoon in roughly 1 1/3 gallons of blood. Just do the math, right? So, how can you really expect to control blood sugar when your healthy fasting blood sugar is 1 teaspoon when so many commonly consumed foods can literally flood your bloodstream with teaspoons of sugar? Think about that. Yet here we are. Technology, social media, and online marketing have us hyper-focused on the hypersensitive metrics of controlling blood sugar when there is an alternative and a much better way to do this. The one evolution based our metabolism on. That is fat metabolism, not sugar metabolism. Biologically speaking, humans are meant to burn fat as our aerobic energy source while relegating glucose as our fight or flight energy. By focusing on optimizing the primary metabolic pathway evolution meant for us to use, you become what I term as blood sugar stable, thus completely eliminating the constant need to monitor glucose levels and glucose intake so you have the metabolic freedom you deserve. So when you learn to burn fat as your primary energy source, that is optimizing your fat metabolism, you will see the following benefits. More stable energy, not all those ups and downs. You have the slowing of the aging process because of lack of glycation. And you have a reversal of chronic conditions if you have them. And most of all, you have the metabolic capacity to tolerate sugars and carbs on occasion. Our research and development athlete, Joseph Herserer, is a perfect example of how an active, health-conscious individual was completely taken by surprise with a type 1 diabetic diagnosis in 2014. See how optimizing his fat metabolism has essentially put his diabetes into remission and literally supercharged his health and performance. Pay close attention to this snippet of Joseph/Jeff talking about this.
2014, then this was a really disruption in my life, I can say. There I got a diagnosis of diabetes type 1. I was really shocked and I thought, oh, why me? I always did sports and I'm a really healthy person, and I thought I care for my body and for my mind also, and I wanted to know what can I do additionally to feel better, and then I don't know why or where I found this Vespa. This strategic use of carbohydrate is don't really harm my diabetes state. No problem. I think this is also the reason why all those personal bests in the last weeks or months were showing up now. Maybe that sounds crazy, but I feel like 10 years younger than I was three months ago. And yeah, it's really crazy. It's amazing.
For the past 22 years, we have pioneered fat adaptation for performance. However, this has an equally important implication for long-term health and aging. Now, my epiphany actually came way back in 2008 when working with athletes who had bonking issues, GI distress, and prolonged recoveries. They were literally destroying themselves at the cellular level using that conventional high carbohydrate diet and fueling, which is recommended for athletics and athletic performance. What worked for me was no longer an N=1, but one of my 3 constants to attain higher health and peak performance. And within a year, athlete John Olson eliminated his GI issues and was winning races and setting course records. And 5 years later, he would go on to become the 24-hour ultra marathon world champion, and then the first American to run 100 miles under 12 hours. What we learn in this outer envelope of human performance, the real world lab of competition, and bring it back to you to provide real world science-based strategies so that you can reach your potential for higher health and peak performance. By optimizing fat metabolism, our athletes enjoy peak metabolic health at any age, all while winning at the highest levels of real world competition or setting records at the extreme edges of ultra endurance, even at the age of 50, like Jeff Browning. If you are not an athlete, optimizing your fat metabolism will bring you untold benefits to your health, vitality, and even allow you to splurge on that occasional piece of almond cake like Jeff. If you're really serious about reaching your health and performance potential, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. Our team has not only pioneered fat-adapted performance and health, but we continue to innovate by developing real-world sustainable strategies and products which yield winning results that can be used by anyone to reach their potential. Contact us today for a free consultation.